Halloween, October 31st of 2021. I'm actually going to cut out just a little bit early. I still got to get all cleaned up and get ready to hand out a little bit of candy to the trick-or-treaters. I also have glow sticks and stuff like that like I normally do. So hopefully I won't miss them. We shall see. But today is not going to look as productive as it actually was. But I'll start with I got rid of a good portion of the wood that I had in here earlier, realizing that I'm going to have to measure and cut it anyways. The saw's downstairs, so we got to take it downstairs anyways. So it went off of the balcony. Normally, you wouldn't be able to do something like that. You don't want to hit any windows or power lines or anything. I know there's nobody on my job site, so I have a big, ugly pile down in the yard, and I'm really sorry about that. I will either need to start working on getting it piled up with the rest of the wood, or go ahead and start looking into getting another dumpster and conveniently just taking it straight over there into the dumpster. So one of the next dumpsters actually will go in the front, which I'm really excited about, because I'm hoping that I can park it on the driveway and then throw it out of the window when I do this room right here. So super excited about that. That's going to be quite a bit of progress. I'm actually going to need some help, probably either help to get these two pieces out. They're very heavy and they're full of nails, or I'm gonna have to strategically cut them into smaller Tiffany size manageable pieces. So at least they're up though, and this feels really good. So I wanted to actually get the framing started or done today, but that didn't happen because my other project took almost the entire day. So I'm not too upset. It just gives me more time to think. I'll probably actually draw it out just a little bit more. I know I need to make some temporary bracing to figure that mess out. And then I also want to make sure that the header that they put in is the height that I want it, or maybe it was a little bit taller. I can't really tell from just looking right now. So we'll just spend some time thinking about it, but it does feel good to have everything just a little bit cleaner. In case anybody is curious, cat door has been ordered. It is on the way, so I'm about to make a temporary door so that we can learn to train kitties. Never thought I would say that. I did check and I can feel Zeus's microchip as well, so we'll get all of them checked out, but we're just going to use the basic one to start with. And obviously we'll have those throughout the house to make things easier for them to hunt and make sure we have no mice or rodents, but also keep any other wildlife like the possum that likes to try and visit these days, which I'll take a possum over a skunk any day. So the good news is that all of the gypboard is down, and I'm super excited about that. What that also means though is that this will be my life for probably the next week or two. Basically, every time you go down the stairs, you take a bag or two, and that's the only way to kind of get it all down there without wearing yourself out. You really can't throw that over the balcony. Trust me, I have experienced that. They do bust, and then you just end up with gyp and nails and wood and anything else that might be in that bag all over your yard, and that's not safe either. We all know that I had stitches for hitting something that shouldn't have been in the yard, so I don't want to experience that, which means we'll just have to take it slow for this. And particularly slow because I am definitely, my muscles are done for the day. 2 days of demo, and that was not easy. So particularly my right arm is kind of killing me. So it's fine. We'll just go slow. This is what took almost my entire day. I never thought it would be that difficult, but my goodness gracious, there was a lot of framing in there. And it just took a lot of time to kind of surgically pull everything down in a way that wasn't going to cause any structural issues, which you would think it wouldn't, but the way it was attached was questionable, or wasn't going to fall down on me or hurt me or the floor or anything else. As we know, the floor could be in better shape, and I'll zoom in when we start to look at refinishing. But essentially, somebody tried to refinish, but frankly, they did not. There's a special place in purgatory for those people. They did not. You're supposed to stand with the grain, and they just went all over the place and gouged it pretty bad. So it sanded kind of within an inch of its life. It could never be sanded again, I don't think. It would ruin the tongue and the structure of the floor. So we're gonna do the best we can, and there may be pieces that are replaced down the road, but I think we can live with it for a good portion of time. Other than that, this is a historic preservation project, and the point is to tell the history of the house. And somebody doing a very poor job at restoring a floor is now part of that history. So we're going to tell it. That's kind of all I can think of at this point. So, yeah, of course, we will stain the floors back to their original color, which I think will help quite a bit. But you'll always be able to see the damage that they caused. It is what it is. Likewise, I was hoping to be able to answer some more questions from a preservation perspective over here. What happened? What was going on? Why we have this funky jog? I still have no answers. In fact, I have more questions at this point. So this is a shiplap wall. It does appear to be close to original, if not original, very early on in the house. It looks like this wall is as well, but I'm showing you the wallpaper now because I am probably going to take that down just to see if it can tell me any stories or anything like that. I don't know why just one portion of it is painted white. Maybe it was visible for some reason when the other wasn't. Um, but why you would have two doors side by side, I have no idea. And this one has the transom. I was curious to see if this one was gonna have framing for a transom, but it does not. So I have no idea. The door, obviously the door that's there now is 80s, 90s, something like that. But that doesn't necessarily, I mean, that it was added then. It's just when they started replacing throughout the house. So that is what it is. The wallpaper is kind of cool. So our state flower, for those of you not in Texas, is the yellow rose of Texas. So there you go. And these are the psychedelic roses of Texas. And then we've got kind of this more subtle, it has sort of a moire look to it, like a satin look, and then kind of a subtle floral pattern to it as well. There's actually a border to it at the top. Um, this one is older than this one. In fact, there's some areas you can see up at the top where this was placed on top of that. I don't know what the squares were about. Maybe they were shelves. No idea. But that does answer kind of one of the things that mom said. At one point, there was some storage here that opened to this room, which makes that door even more questionable. What did it go to while this was storage? I wonder if maybe this was there were tenants in this house at one point, so they would lease out a room to a school teacher or something like that. Because goodness knows we get some big rooms in here. So I don't know if maybe this was a secondary entrance that they put in so that you were kind of like an ante room, something like that. But then why would you? I don't know. Anyways, more questions. Flooring. This doesn't line up with anything. So this is a linoleum. It's kind of a gold and green color, really interesting. But then you can see kind of a ghosting of framing that was sitting on it, and then likewise not sitting on it. So there's some more over here. I don't know if that was all continuous and they just pulled a piece of it up or what's going on, but anyways, so yes, if you're wondering, I will take samples of all these papers and flooring and everything else. We keep them all encased in a little cabinet downstairs so that we'll have that, but it'll allow me to kind of move forward. Another funny story, you see that light fixture right there? So there was a closet that I took down that came out of this 90-degree angle right here. So it came across and then over, you can see. But the light for that closet was way over here, just off to the left for some reason. There is actually a hole, and I don't know if you can see it, right in the center for a light fixture, but they didn't put that light fixture in most recently. So I have no idea why. I don't know if maybe they gave up and they decided that the chimney's gonna leak, and so instead of fixing it, we'll just move the electrical further back. Whatever. Likewise, the chimney is in this wall right here. That circular plate you see there is the access to the flue. So what they would have done is they would have had a wood stove, which ironically is where my wood pile is right now. I need to piece all these pieces together and see if it kind of tells me a story of what was going on with the framing there, because I think that's where that shiplap came from. And then it would vent out through this flue. So that's how you would have heated this entire kind of central area of the home upstairs. We're going to cheat and we're going to do that with electrical, but same concept will kind of apply, because this is obviously super combustible, and so we don't allow any flame at all in the tele house for that reason. Other than that, I'm just going to blow my nose a million times and kind of get rid of this dust. But I'm super excited that all of the gyp is out. It also means I get to sleep next to a room that's also cleaned out at this point. The gyp in this house, for some reason, smells like a really heavy perfume. It's awful, really awful. So I'm really grateful to have that out, have the last of it bagged up, and get it out of this room. I'm going to do one more good vacuum. I'm actually going to change the filter, and then vacuum one more time. And I know I'm going to sleep so much better tonight because of that. So that's a very good feeling. On to some of the next stuff, which will be light fixtures and figuring out electrical. Because of the layout in this room, I really want to think that through a little bit more, and it might get interesting for you guys. In fact, I probably have enough questions that I might hire the electrician to come in and help me just kind of lay a few things out, because I would rather do what is easy if I get two different options. So I do have some light fixtures like the ceiling fan here, but when we get through what will be the main door, which is about right here, you can actually see this was covered by a box beam most recently, but there is a light fixture that was essentially centered in this room. I don't know how they wired it, because that is a sloped ceiling and it's pretty, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. So I'm going to talk to him and see if that is the most reasonable thing to do. If it is, I have to go pick a light fixture. Other options would be I could actually have some wall hung sconces, or I could not put any light in the ceiling at all in this room, and I could just do lamps. It's such a small, narrow room. I think that would be totally fine. So I just want to do what's wise and what's most functional, and I'm still trying to decide how this is going to function. But one way to do that is I might start working on putting together one of the beds, just to kind of get an overall feel of what that's like. Maybe I'll show you guys. Anyways, you guys take care. Have a really great Halloween. Everybody be safe, and we will talk soon.